Thank you for letting me tune in. Thank you for letting me tune in to the Coronado Arte Harris Show. Owner of the global market, majority stakeholder of our 10-year, 15-year, 30-year corporate, private, and public account. And I know you like the sound on this phone and stuff like that. I went out there and I bought the company today. And this is one of my free gifts that I got. You know, it's a free gift that I got for purchasing the company. And I like it. You know what I mean? But I want to tell you something, lady. You know, there's a lot of things that go on in Spring Valley and Woodley Park and Regency Park. But did you know if there was a committee of people listening to everything that's people is saying in the privacy of their own company, it would be a riot. It'll be an uprising and a riot if them people knew that you was judging them and doing things to them based off of what they was doing in their own private place. It really would. So I know you think you can take advantage of people that you don't think is fit to be in society, but you can't. You know, it's gonna be some out there sooner or later that's gonna let you know that you can't do that. You know, you're a grown ass man, you're a grown ass woman. You should know better than that, but obviously you don't. You know what I mean? And I never thought that Montgomery would turn into a Tuskegee experiment, administering like poison and COVID-19 to folks. But when I tell you when that shit hit the fan, man, when justice catch up with that shit gonna be just like Hitler and motherfucking exterminating the Jews. And it ain't gonna take no long time, nigga. Like, when them motherfuckers catch up with y'all, it's a wrap. That's all I can tell you. You know, I don't really recommend people to go out there and find you a grave site, but you might want to. You might want to go find you a grave site and a fucking casket. Because when you got your mind made up that you're gonna be evil and you're gonna do evil, you don't consider it evil. Some people actually think they doing the work of the Lord by doing what they do. But when you find out what you're really doing and you become conscious of it, you're gonna get cold. You're gonna get a cold feeling, you know what I mean? And it ain't gonna never subside. You know, you're gonna feel cold because it's gonna be about that time. You know what I mean? So I know it's gonna feel spooky going to pick out your casket, but guess what? I know some people that done did that. You know what I mean? I knew some people that knew they was gonna die and they went out there and found them some caskets. You know what I mean? So it might be something you want to do and get fitted for that motherfucker so you can feel comfortable. Because a lot of people say this: when you die, you still alive. You know what I'm saying? You know you can't respond. They might take a few of your organs out, but you can hear and everything. You can hear, you can feel, and all that shit. And when they bury your ass, you're gonna know and be conscious, even though it seems like you unresponsive. You're gonna know that's what they doing to you. You're just not gonna be able to respond or say nothing. You know, and when you decaying and shit like that, you're gonna feel every iota of it. You know what I mean? So it is wise to go out there and find you something to lay in. You know what I mean? Because right now you living in a house that don't belong to you. You're riding in a car that you ain't paying for. You know, you taking advantage of folks. You know, but when you get that cold feeling, you know what I mean? You might want to go get you a Econo car that you pay for and get rid of that house that you don't belong in and go get your apartment or something. You know, because it ain't never too late to try to repent. It might not get you nowhere, but ain't nothing wrong with trying. You know, you might want to tell the Lord that you sorry for doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna tell you, hell is not no paradise, like you know. I know people think like going to hell is like going to the club. No, it ain't like going to hell it is nothing to speak about. It is very excruciating. It's unspeakable, but a lot of people gonna spend their eternity there. You know what I mean? For the things that they doing here. And when you get there, you're gonna realize doing right, it wasn't that difficult. If you can go back and live your life and do right by people, it only take a few minutes out your day to do right. But you're gonna spend the rest of your life in hell for what you're doing. That It's just something you need to start thinking about. Maybe you can try to repent. Might not get you nowhere, but you could try. I'm gonna tell y'all, they got this news called the Sky News, and it's global news from the UK and from Africa and places like that, Australia. If you got some chance, do some research. They got some people in Russia that's doing what y'all doing. You ought to see what they doing to them. They done found out that they poisoning people and stuff at the restaurants and stuff. Man, just tune in and see what they doing to them. Like, you don't think it's coming here? Oh, baby. Hey, justice is coming, baby. It's coming. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna be able to do what you doing forever. You know what I mean? That shit gonna come to an end. I'm trying to tell you. And we gotta bow our heads and pray for Hyundai, like, because with those kind of recalls that they got at Hyundai, they not gonna be around. Like, I'm just being honest. If they gotta replace all them cars that they made again, like, that might be the last blow for real. They gotta replace them Optimas, Kia Optimas and shit. I'm talking about a lot of them too, like, you know. And you know what? I don't think nothing wrong with the car. I'm gonna tell you what they finding out what y'all doing. You know what I mean? They finding out what y'all doing, and they making you pay for it one way or the other. The rest of the states. That's what they making you do. They making you pay for it. So there's rules. There's rules to it. Like, my position is an invisible position, but it's one of the highest. It might be the highest position. And what y'all doing, it's a lot of violation that come with that shit. And you gotta pay for it. So, like I said, I ain't really never understood a Kia Optima just being in the garage and then it just next thing you know it's in flames. But they said that's the complaint that the people having, and they sending them back. Like, I'm talking about millions of them too. So, the last time it was the same thing, but it wasn't as severe as it is now. But they said last time it was the Santa Fe's, the Sonatas, the Optimas, and the Elantras. This time they saying it's Optima. You know what I mean? So I don't know if you consider that as a warning, but I tell you one thing: if they said no more Hyundai, man, that'll be almost half of the families in Montgomery wouldn't be getting no income. You know what I mean? Hyundai, Glovis, Movis. So, man, y'all need to, it don't take a funeral for you to get up there on the platform and say what you need to say. You get some of your best speeches and motivation and counsel from those big speakers and stuff, powerful, famous speakers during the famous funeral. But I'm going to tell y'all what y'all could do. Before somebody die, get together and act like you're going to a funeral. And you get up there and speak and help the youth to get their mind right and start treating people better. You got to say it. You got to find some kind of way to encourage people to stop doing what they're doing. It's a way to do it. They just got to find a way. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like, if you put yourself in these shoes where somebody was living in your houses, driving your cars, the police was discriminating on you, the sheriff department, the goddamn license division, and the state troopers, they all united to say that they don't want you to have nothing. You already know something ain't right about that. You go to every other state, they not going for it. They against the police and all, they against it. Because they see the story that y'all presenting and they see that something's not right about that. That ain't right, man. That you taking somebody right from them and taking their money too. You know what I mean? That's probably gonna be it's gonna be probably the coldest experience in the American experience, for real. Like, so think about it. Your kids gonna have to go to these schools and play ball and say that they was in Montgomery while they was doing Coronado like that. You know what I mean? Your kids gotta go. They got to go up there to play ball for Bama and Georgia and Clemson, and they was living in and they know Nardo. You see what I'm saying? That's the type of stuff you got to think about. As you know, today it was a frat day. I didn't really get to participate. I started like probably like about 4 this morning. I partied, and then that was it. Kind of like a quiet party. I had a good time with the friends stuff, sorority sisters and stuff. That I was just remembering the date that today's the 14th and the 20th. They got that thing. It's like the only true brother and sisterhood. You know what I mean? That's a good saying. You know what I mean? The only true brother and sisterhood out of all the brothers and sisterhood. That's what they say. You know what I mean? This is the only truth. Yeah. It's something to think about. I kind of reminisce, think about it. I watch some step shows and stuff like that. Listen to some chants and stuff, and that's how I parted. I used to do a lot of stepping and chanting and partying in person, the real thing. You know what I mean? I used to have a good time. But like I know if I had a brother out there, if I had a real a blood brother out there, and I know he was supposed to be living in luxury and stuff, and they had him goddamn doing him like he was in Guantanamo Bay or some shit, I probably would do something about it. I'm just saying that's just me. But everybody ain't like that, you know what I mean? A lot of times it's more convenient to say that you'll go against it because if you help, then you will have to spend some of your money or exert yourself, and you might be tired. You know what I mean? That's the easy way out. But I ain't never been that type of guy. You know what I mean? If I can help somebody, I'll help them, especially somebody that's related to me. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you, I finally got the Hulu app to go through. When I tell you, man, the establishment putting out a lot of garbage on TV, a lot of these movies and sitcoms, man, they real bogus. I'm talking about for real, like, yeah. Man, TV shows, the company, they all using the same theme, same setting. It's really boring. They not standing on anything. They not really standing on nothing. And a lot of the excitement that was out there is not out there. Because people kind of know that COVID-19 is not COVID-19. You know what I mean? They know. People kind of know that it's a genocide going on. That's what it's called. They doing a genocide. It's an American genocide, and it's like a civil war. They got an excuse to knock people off and blame it on something. They gonna say, no, your visit to the doctor didn't kill you. Your respiratory failure didn't kill you. It was COVID-19. Cancer didn't kill you, stuff like that. So when people feel like they poisoning you or you sick, you get to see how evil they really are. Oh, you got you got COVID again? You see what I'm saying? And when they think it's funny, man, it's good to document and see how evil people really are. You know what I mean? And you already know if they was in that situation and they knew what was going on, man, they'll be calling goddamn Johnny Cochran, goddamn all them people, man. Giuliani. We'll never hear the end of it if somebody did them like that. So you ought to see how vicious. You can see who's strong and who weak. You really can see it. It's clear as day. You know what I mean? So the same people that's doing you like that, if you did that to them, you never hit the end of it. You know what I mean? They'll have sheriffs at your door with their hand on the pistol, with the yellow letter, all kind of shit. Watching your house and all that shit. If they was doing you like that. You see what I'm saying? I guess it's a learning lesson, you know what I mean? It's something to learn and stuff like that.